I can't tell you which path in life is best for you because I don't know how important it is for you to achieve big goals relative to how important it is for you to avoid the pains required to get them. We each have to feel these things out for ourselves. Everyone has blind spots. The blind spot barrier is when a person believes he or she can see everything, but it's a simple fact that no one alone can see a complete picture of. Naturally, people can't appreciate what they can't see. Just as we all have different ranges for singing, hearing, pitch, and seeing colors, we have different ranges for seeing and understanding things. For example, while some people are better at seeing the big picture, others excel at seeing details. Some are linear thinkers, and others are more lateral. While some are creative but not reliable, others are reliable but not creative, and so on because of how our brains are wired differently. Everyone perceives the world around them differently. By doing what comes naturally to us, we fail to account for our weaknesses and we crash. Either we keep doing that or we change. Aristotle defined tragedy as a terrible outcome arising from a person's fatal flaw, a flaw that hadn't been fixed, would have instead led to a wonderful outcome. This prompted me to seek out the most thoughtful people I could find. I do not care about your conclusions, I just want to see things through your eyes, and to have you see things through my eyes, so that together we can hash things out to discover what's true. In other words, what I want most from you is thoughtful disagreement. Going from seeing things through just my eyes to seeing things through the eyes of other thoughtful people was like going from seeing things in black and white to seeing them in color. The world lit up. I found that taking this radically open-minded approach and believability weighting people's thinking significantly increased my probabilities of making the best decisions possible. Think about it as a 5-step process. Because we are wired so differently, not everyone can do all the 5 steps well, but you don't have to do them all alone. You can get help from others who are good at what you are not, who are wired to perceive things you can't. All you need to do is let go of your attachment to having the right answers yourself, and use your fear of being wrong to become open-minded to these other views. In this way, you could point out the risks and opportunities that you would individually miss. This enabled me to ascend to greater heights and greater challenges. In the past, I would have always wanted to do what I myself thought was best, but now I seek out the strongest independent thinkers I can find. I found that taking this radically open-minded approach and believability, weighting people's thinking, significantly increased my probabilities of making the best decisions possible. This enabled me to ascend to greater heights and greater challenges. In the past, I would have always wanted to do what I myself thought was best, but now I sought out the strongest independent thinkers I could find. I still do. There is nothing better to be on a shared mission with extraordinary people who can be radically truthful and radically transparent with each other. This approach led me to create AfterFlea, a company with a unique idea meritocracy, operating in a unique way to produce unique successes. In an idea meritocracy, you get the best of everybody. Everyone thinks independently. Then we work through our disagreements to get at what's best. However, not every opinion is equally valuable, and we have to learn to distinguish between good ideas and bad ones to get the best decisions. In other words, we need to believability weight people's thinking. Right now, there are many wonderful opportunities and dangerous risks surrounding you that you don't see. If you saw them free of the distortions produced by your ego or your blind spots, you would be able to deal with them more effectively if you could acquire this ability. And with practice, you definitely can. So ever since I was a kid, I ran after the things I wanted and crashed. Got up and ran again and crashed again. And each time I crashed, I learned something got better and crashed less. By doing that over and over again, I learned to love this process, even the crashing part of it. Through it, I encountered reality. Whatever success I've had in life has more to do with my knowing how to deal with my not knowing than anything I know that I should be telling other people what to do. Sounds kind of presumptuous to me, but I'm going to do it because I believe that the principles that have made me successful could help others achieve their own goals or in growing. I came to view problems like puzzles that would reward me if I could solve them. They would help me deal with the problem at hand, and they would give me principles for dealing with similar problems in the future. I devised this journey to equip us all with the means to flourish. Collectively, we can collaborate in solving gratifying dilemmas. When I did this, I was usually able to discover principles that would prevent me from repeating the same mistakes in the future. And I could see that being successful simply consisted of 5 steps. For example, I observed that most everything happens over and over again in slightly different ways, some in obvious, short-term cycles that are easy to recognize, so we know how to deal with them, like the 24-hour day, some so infrequently that they haven't occurred in our lifetimes, and we're shocked when they do, like the once-in-a-100-year storm, and some we know exist, but are encountering for the first time, like the birth of our first child. Most people mistakenly treat these situations as being unique and deal with them without having proper perspective or principles to help them get through them. I found that if instead of dealing with these events as one-offs, I could see each as just another one of those, and approach them in the same way a biologist might approach an animal. First identifying its species, then drawing on principles for dealing with it appropriately, because I could see these events transpire in pretty much the same ways over and over. I could more clearly see the cause-effect relationships that govern their behaviors, which allowed me to develop better principles that I could express in both words and algorithm. I learned that while most everyone expects the future to be a slightly modified version of the present, it is typically very different. That's because people are biased by recent history and overlook events that haven't happened in a long time. Perhaps not even in their lifetime, but they will happen again. So what's the reasons for joining this company? The reason I made this whole experience is to work collectively with smart and thoughtful people to accomplish our goals collectively within our business and personal lives. The tools we set up you with and routines we will help establish utilizing AI allow us, a group, to collectively grow and mature and become a larger and greater intellect. Having big dreams, plus embracing reality, plus having lots of determination will bring you a successful life. I believe this formula is true for everyone, but what does a successful life look like? We each have to decide for ourselves what success is. I don't care whether you want to be a master of the universe or to live under a palm tree or anything else. I really don't. Each of us chooses goals based on our values and decides on the best path to achieve them. But we all need approaches to making decisions that work well, especially when facing problems, mistakes, and weaknesses that stand in our way. To succeed, we must embrace all our realities, especially the harsh realities that we wish weren't true. In closing, we have received around 80 applications and will be processing them over the next 3 days. Those who are selected will receive offer letters for a contract position at AfterFlea. During this 3-week period, you will have access to our tools and equipment, but please note that your employment can be terminated at any time for failure to communicate effectively. At AfterFlea, we value open and honest communication, and it is our internal motto. We also want to inform you that stock options will be awarded to all permanent employees at the end of this contract period. We want to emphasize that you do not need to be available full-time for every division, as we have 6 different divisions. Please answer all questions truthfully so that we can best accommodate your experiences. At AfterFlea, we want to help everyone in our company address issues within their life. Our products can assist with financial stress, work-life balance, job security, health and wellness, relationships, parenting challenges, aging parents, housing affordability, retirement planning, political polarization, education and student loans, climate change, income inequality, technological change, job satisfaction, identity and self-esteem, discrimination and social justice, loneliness and social isolation, digital addiction, and personal safety, and last but not least, security. We believe that by providing these resources, we can help our employees live a more fulfilling life. Thank you for considering joining our team at AfterFlea.